Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This is part number 11, I think it is, of my Let's Play series, playing as the Union, and so far the war is going reasonably well. Richmond had fallen, but it looks like the Confederates have taken Richmond back. We have taken a huge chunk of Virginia, however, including most of the Shenandoah Valley, at least as far south as Newmarket. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, the Confederates did make a foray, which was stopped near, I guess it was stopped closer to like Lexington, but they still control parts of the southern part of the state. We have ejected the Confederates almost entirely from Missouri, so that situation's great, and they don't seem to have any armies that are currently threatening to re-enter that westernmost of battlefields. And right now, we just fought and won a battle at Wheeling, where General George B. McClellan threw back the Army of the Northwest. Despite being outnumbered, he inflicted more than 3,000 casualties on that enemy army with a force of his own around 10,000, and is now in the process of occupying Wheeling. Meanwhile, I kind of have my next plan. So there's two things going on. First off, the Army of the Northeast Virginia under Irvin McDowell, the main army in the Eastern Theater, is moving back to retake Richmond from the South Carolina State Militia, which liberated it from Major General Robert Patterson's division, which had been badly mauled near Yorktown. So we're going to move a force in of double Patterson's size under Irvin McDowell, and we're going to move them in to fight the Battle of Richmond and hopefully drive the enemy back for good there. Meanwhile, I'm going to take I'm going to take Patterson's troops, have them sort of rest a little bit near Fredericksburg, and then move back to close the southern end of the Shenandoah Valley. Once we've effectively sealed off the southern end of the valley, I'm going to, and once Wheeling has fallen, I'm going to move McClellan down toward Grafton and probably engage the Army of the Northwest again. And then I may do one other thing. So we are recruiting some new troops in the Army of the Ohio since the last time I showed you guys. A full new division under Charles F. Smith, who I think was, I think he's the General Smith who was a close friend of Ulysses S. Grant and died early in the war of a blood infection when he was transiting between like two ships or something like that, and he got cut by like a piece of metal or whatever and got blood poisoning. I think that's who this guy is. He was a pretty good commander. He just died really early on. Anyway, we're raising a new division under him, 2 brigades of about 2,200 soldiers and a new artillery battery, which are going to be raised and joining the Army of the Ohio. And once they've arrived, that formation will have around 8,500 troops. And what we could do is move them toward Charleston, West Virginia. We could have kind of a two-pronged attack. We could have McClellan come down on Grafton, Buell's Army of the Ohio move in on Charleston, and then we could also use the Army of the Valley here, this blocking force under Major General John Kenly, move west toward Grafton or south toward the southern end of the valley, so that we can hopefully wrap West Virginia up in a nice little bow and deliver it to the Union simultaneously while taking Richmond. We've really ignored the naval war so far, and that's probably not a great thing. That probably gives the Confederates more access to foreign arms than maybe we should. The only problem with doing that then is it does leave Kentucky and southern Ohio kind of exposed to a Confederate attack if they decide to move up from Tennessee. For the moment, it doesn't seem like they're really doing that. They did have one army that kind of did that for a little bit, and I don't really know where that army went. It might be near the Salt Works in southern West Virginia. I'm not really sure where it's at, so we'll have to see. Yeah. We may need to raise another army. I don't really feel like I have the cash to do it, but we might need to do it anyway. One of the things this game seems to really buy into, at least according to everything I've read on it, is like, if you build more shit, your economy will get better. If you build more shit, you know, your revenues will go up despite spending huge amounts of money on building more stuff. So raising more troops may be a prudent thing to do, at least in theaters where things are a little bit more exposed. And now that I've said that, you know what? Let's do it. Let's raise an army in Kentucky. The rebels have already attacked Kentucky, so we might as well raise a force at, should we do Louisville or Munfordville? We could do Munfordville. Anyway, let's raise a new army. So we're going to go to the military section. We're going to go to units, or actually I don't even know. Recruit a new army. Here we go. We're going to recruit a new army. It's going to be a Kentucky army, so we might as well use Kentucky soldiers. We've got 8,100 soldiers in Kentucky that want to fight for us. Only 180 troops so far under arms in Kentucky. And we're going to make the commander of that force... I mean, who do we even make? Like, none of these guys are... We could make John C. Fremont the commander. He was historically made an army commander a couple of times. I'm just trying to think of someone who like would warrant a command despite not really having any military not having any military success. I mean, the logical thing, and the problem with the game is it doesn't really make that easy, but the logical thing would be to take someone who's already sort of shown their capabilities and promote them. So like, not really Buell's army, but we could do, let's look for one of these other armies. Got to get through all the garrisons. So the Army of Northeastern Virginia, for example, I don't really want to I don't want Sumner to be. I don't really like any of these commanders. Well, Grant's only fought once, Heinzelman once as well. I don't really like any of my choices for the division commanders to be promoted. Shields has won a few battles, right? What's his popularity? Fame is renown. Could do Shields. What we'd likely do is take Joseph Mansfield. Oh, he doesn't. I don't really know what the right way to promote folks is either. So like, I think all my division commanders are legendary or famous under McDowell. I guess we could do Sumner. Take him out of a command of a cavalry brigade. How's Buford's fame? Is he good? Yeah. So we'll replace Buford here as the brigade commander. And we will put... Is there a... Can I filter by like search? Oh, I can. Really? It's telling me these guys are not... I don't think they already have a command. Fitzjohn Porter. I forgot about him. He's a very good young officer. Historically, anyway. Before he got tied up with McClellan. Who would we want to be a good cavalry commander? I like how Kilpatrick is deemed as not a good fit. He's 25 too. All right, we will do Fitzjohn Porter. He's got apparently a lot of experience. He's an artillery officer. Interesting. So we'll assign him there. We're going to go ahead and replace Sumner with Buford. And so Buford's now the division commander of the Army of the Northeastern Virginia, and that will open Sumner up to be our new army commander. Okay. So we'll go ahead and replace Joshua Upton with Edwin Sumner, who's apparently very famous. Bad initiative, bad leadership, bad administration, not cunning. He's probably a bad army commander choice, but from like a fame and what he's done so far for the cause, it seems like a good choice. We'll go ahead and assign a division of troops under him. We'll go with some Illinois troops. We'll go with those light blue uniforms. I'm going to stick to 2,200 man brigades. It's a little bit undersized compared to what some of the Confederate units we've seen have, but we'll go with 2 Illinois regiments, I think. Keep those dressed the same. And then we'll go actually with a 3rd Illinois unit that's going to be an artillery unit. These are all 12-month troops. I was hoping to avoid raising too many troops who are 12-month troops, but kind of is what it is. What do we want to be the division commander here? Henry Burton, Zook, Casey, Ferry, Fremont. I guess Fremont is a reasonable choice, politically anyway. So we'll put these guys under him. And I think we're going to do a 2-division army, but they're small divisions. So we sort by seniority. Like, I get all these obscure generals I've never heard of before. Where's Hooker? He's got I think he's a brigade commander somewhere, isn't he? Really? Is he really not, like, in here? He's gotta be here. Is it only searching by first name? Edward Hobson has a lot of experience. Some of these guys are weird choices. What about if we just sort by fame? Robert Anderson, the commander of Fort Sumter, I think, right? So we'll go with him. He seems like a good choice. I think he was a division commander in Kentucky briefly. All right, so we'll go with a couple of new brigades. We're going to go with an Indiana brigade here. We'll make their uniforms green. So H.L. Wallace, I don't want Collier. Is Reynolds around here? Gouverneur Warren's not a bad choice. Jesse Reno, he's a good. I mean, he was a competent commander anyway, I think. Yeah, it's weird that it's all by first name, it appears. There you go. John Reynolds. And then we'll do another brigade, a Kentucky brigade. Give them the red jackets. And I think we'll give that brigade to John Gibbon, who would command, I think he commanded the Iron Brigade at 2nd Manassas. And then I don't really care who takes the artillery. Apparently we have some Arkansas volunteers, so we'll go with them. Although the support in their state is very low, so maybe they're a bad choice. We'll just go back with Illinois troops. Oh shit. I didn't want to do that. No. I don't know if it's free to delete that unit, but I deleted them. Okay, so artillery, I just kind of trust the AI to pick. Maybe I shouldn't. I should go with Gibbon would actually be a good artillery commander too. You can search by that, right? Who's currently wounded? Abercrombie? That's cool. Artillery. All right, let's give... Captain Ricketts, you can command that unit. Okay, so we're going to raise a new army, the Army of Kentucky, under Major General Edwin Sumner. It'll be commanded with it'll have 2 divisions, the 1st and the 2nd, one under John Fremont, one under Robert Anderson. It'll have 4 brigades of infantry under William H.L. Wallace, Jesse Reno, John Reynolds, and John Gibbon. And it'll have 2 batteries of artillery under Thornton Broadhead and James Ricketts. Now, right now, all these troops have mixed muskets, basically just absolute crap weapons. I don't really have a lot of choices, it appears, in terms of the weaponry I can equip them with. They appear to only be Springfield muskets, so I'm going to have to go with that. So they're crap-ass weapons, but they're better than mixed muskets, and so I'll spend a little bit of money upgrading those. And then we'll go ahead and see. It doesn't look like I have any artillery options either, just 6-pound field guns. So my industry really needs to kick it into gear to support this mobilizing force. But we'll see if raising an additional army of troops, some just shy of 10,000 soldiers, might cause that. And so by raising this army, I am going to use the Army of the Ohio and move them into Western Virginia. And then what we will do is we'll use the Army of the Kentucky to take back the portions of Kentucky the Confederates have seized. And then we may move south into central Tennessee. And right now the ironclads are still under construction, so I think the next thing for this video is just to continue the drive on Richmond, where we may have a battle. The Army of Northeastern Virginia is moving on Richmond. Department of Pennsylvania is withdrawing still to the north. Confederates still have 2 armies at the southern tip of the Shenandoah Valley. Presumably we're about to see a battle here on August 14th, I would guess. It's 11:16 a.m. and the South Carolina State Militia is in contact with the Army of Northeastern Virginia. It does say the Department of Pennsylvania is 6 hours away as well. I don't really want to call them. So there's no reason to bring them into battle. Their morale sucks and I don't want to... I don't think I need them, right? I just don't know if they're going to hurt us or not. I guess we can always put them in a defensive position, but that would actually make... That would make Patterson the commanding general. So I don't want him to be the commanding general. So let's go in with the bare minimum of troops. Okay, so we can see the Confederates are going to have a little bit more troops than us, but not many. Not enough to, I think, compensate for the AI just being bad. You can see here, Confederate fighting spirit is considerably better than ours, but our training is considerably better than theirs. Strength report claims 31,000 rebel infantry. Not sure I believe that or not. That would actually give them a considerable advantage in terms of infantry over us. That's interesting if the intel reports are starting to get worse. The fame of Beauregard and McDowell is identical. Beauregard's leadership is better, his initiative is better, his administration is better, his cunning is worse. That seems interesting. I would have thought Beauregard was cunning. It is an offensive battle. And we're coming on the map up here. We're on the Mechanicsville battlefield. All right, so let's move the army down here. Well, the rebels could come on the map here, here, and that's it. So the southern, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to march along the Shady Grove Road. We'll take this roadway south. We'll deploy in this field and advance on this objective, and then move south toward Gaines's Mill Pond, Gaines's Mill. This is a very weird battlefield because you've got kind of like a lake in the middle around some heights near Gaines's Mill Pond that I think can be a little bit challenging. The good thing is we do have a cavalry division. and that should be useful. So let's go in here. We're going to get the cavalry out front. General Buford's first battle in command. We're going to send him out toward Bethesda. We'll send the artillery reserve down here near Old Church Road. Infantry also. We'll put 2 infantry divisions down here. And then the 1st division under Tyler we'll leave here. Meanwhile, I'm going to tell McDowell to move here by himself. And we'll get things going at times 10 speed. So we'll see where we find the Rebs. Guessing we'll be fighting down here. We fought on this map a couple of times before, and that's always where we kind of fought. But I'm making sure our flank's secure anyway. Just sending the cavalry out that way. They should be faster and give us better intel than the infantry. We've kind of got clogged roads. You can see just columns and columns of troops moving along the roadway there. I'm wondering if that's slowing us up a bit. One of our infantry brigades down here, militia brigade under Henry Baxter, they're just going at it their own way. Completely isolated from everybody else, completely cut off from command. Okay. Oh, shit. Well, we found him, boys. This militia brigade is going to get itself wasted, isn't it? Okay, don't be dumb. All right, let's do this. All right, so deploy in double line. Or I guess just in column. I can't really issue orders to these guys. Or can I? Yeah. Probably not. Maybe they'll stop moving on their own. Once they come under enemy fire. The Rebs are pulling back. They've dug in some of their guns too. Why would they pull back? Maybe they spotted my other forces. Oh man, this is a mess. All right, deploy the troops down here, double line. So it looks like they're falling back. I wish there was a speed that was a little bit faster. Meanwhile, in 6 hours, if the battle is still going on, we may get some reinforcements. Curious where they'll come on the map, though. Okay. So we're deploying now. These troops are slowly getting into position. Artillery on our left flank, so if we swing the map around. Bakers come up. Infantry are slowly moving forward. I really don't like this. It's a little bit jarring, this camera rotation. Baker didn't lose any men in that little foray. All right, so you can see the anticipated formations once everybody's up. Move them forward a little bit to take advantage of the heights just past this road. kind of position them on this ridge. See if maybe as we move forward, we detect any of the rebs. Yeah, this rotated map is just really difficult for me to like follow mentally anyway. So I'm going to rotate back around. All right, so we've detected the enemy. They moved early, moved his troops back up that way. So, like, this is an interesting Confederate defensive position, but the problem is we're coming up right behind him. So the AI is deployed like we're coming from the wrong direction, I think. Or maybe some of their troops are pointed in the right direction and some of them have just their flank and rear open. Not sure about that. I wonder if their line extends into these woods and these heights over here to the east. All right, Tyler, I want you to move your division down this way. I'm going to move the artillery division over here. It's 3 batteries. I think they'll be able to see over what we can detect of the rebs. Cavalry, I want you to send 1 brigade to secure our right flank here on this objective to make sure there's no enemy extending that far. Tyler, also change the range. Engage at long range. It's already 1600 hours, so we should be good. All right, Hunter, move your division forward. I want you to take this road and swing left along the rebel lines. All right, there are no rebels over there. So you're going to move into single line formation. Once that order arrives, you're going to try and flank the enemy. We're probably not going to get a ton of fighting going on here before the sun goes down. Does sound like some artillery is in action, though. 2nd Division under Hunter is going to move out that way. I guess we'll just send Tyler forward here. Oh god, the entire enemy position is now moving. You just saw like something triggered them and they're like, all right, we're going to fight now. Long range, all right, engage those enemy cannon. We're in action, boys. The first rounds have been fired. All right, Hunter, move your divisions down, move your division in. Runyon, I want you to move your division into a single line, and then you're going to attack also. So far, just the 1 brigade engaged, I think. You're going to refuse the flank in this wood line here. My cannons do appear to be in action. At least some of them. No, 2 batteries for sure firing on the enemy. All right. We're giving them a pretty good show. Runyon forward here to support the flank. Move across the open. Hunter, you're a little bit out there. A little bit exposed, but we'll move you in as well. And then we'll use the cavalry under Buford. Try and cover the escape. I don't think I'm going to be able to issue orders if they get that far down there, though. McDowell's couriers will have too far to ride. All right, we're going to fire our 1st Brigade off against the enemy artillery also. Sherman, William T. Sherman, has his brigade in action here. Let's go, boys. Give them hell. They're engaging it long. Can't tell. Switch these guys over to long. Looks like the rebels are pulling back. At least they're skirmishers. I can't tell the rest of the formation at the moment. Infantry is adjusting. I wouldn't say they're pulling back, but we have driven Early's battalions back. We're now moving up the line toward Clayton's battalion. Or brigade. This will be more difficult because we are going to be in the open. You can already see Erasmus Keyes' brigade is losing some men here. The enemy appears to have good weapons also. Alright, so the enemy is behind cover, but we've now got Sherman's brigade and Keyes' brigade, 4,300 muskets against just 2,700. Now, admittedly, the Rebs do have artillery support, so we're going to move the militia brigade with their Springfield rifled muskets from the neighboring division forward. Did everything just freeze? Well, they're still shooting, but these troops stopped marching. Alright, 2nd Division. Move on to the enemy flank. Our cavalry in the woods here. .200 casualties in Keyes' brigade. Sherman's brigade's losing a lot too. Fire into Clayton's flank. He's not losing that badly, so we'll add another 2,600 muskets against him. This is not a great situation to find ourselves in. Bring 4th Cavalry up here. Well, let's bring the 2nd Brigade forward. We'll have them leapfrog ahead in the line to take some of the pressure off Sherman and Keyes. We're engaging now. Cheatham also has a brigade forward there, though, to support Clayton Sr. He's now lost just shy of just about 220 men, 230 men, while we have lost over 600. Not good. You can see our morale is dropping due to casualties there. Our loss resistance is dropping. So we're going to move Shank's brigade right through Sherman's line. Fire here. A whole bunch of artillery just plastered the enemy positions on this side of the road. So he should be shielded from fire now. And I don't know how line of sight works if they can... It doesn't... They're still firing? Like firing through our ranks? Anyway. Meanwhile, Hunter's division is coming in on what looks like the enemy flank. Looks like they've got Griff's brigade. We'll have Ambrose Burnside attack it. God, these musket volleys in my ear. They're loud. 400 casualties by Keyes' men. Militia brigade under Baker is starting to do some work. Clayton's brigade's now lost in excess of 400 men. let's bring our cavalry up over here. What are their guns? Mixed cavalry weapons? That's not great. Alright, let's have our cavalry go skirmish with these troops over here. Is our artillery still firing? Says they are. We were taking a lot of casualties just trying to eject a single enemy brigade. Almost 1,000, over 1,000 casualties here against just 600 of Clayton's. These troops are in good cover, firing at Cheatham's brigade. They're doing well. Griffith's brigade's in the open getting shot at here. Burnside's men have lost over 200 casualties. This fight's not quite going as well as I had hoped so far. Do we have any troops that are still sitting out the fight? Palmer's 1 brigade, get up here. Also, do we have our reserves here yet? I guess it's, or did we tell, no, we told Patterson not to come? Ah, I'm dumb. First cavalry is, ooh, that's not good. They're very tired, poor training. Oh boy. Well, they're giving about as good as they're getting, but they're breaking. How long is Clayton Sr. going to hold out there? Almost 800 casualties now. Meanwhile, we've also got the 3rd Cavalry here under Fitzjohn Porter. They closed with Cheatham's brigade, per my orders, I believe. Oh, we should be wrecking this brigade, though. Griffith's brigade. So we've kind of turned one of their flanks. Schenck is gonna break, isn't he? Okay, move Sherman through his lines. Let's also bring the militia brigade under Baker closer. And it looks like, well, that's just a skirmisher detachment is broken. Nice. Okay, we finally broke Clayton's brigade. What's this mean? Experienced. Well, Sherman, do your thing. Go engage those enemy infantry that are moving on our flank. Let's go hit this enemy artillery. Firing into the rear of Cheatham's brigade with our cavalry. Doing their damnedest to hurt the enemy. Artillery's still shooting at someone. Flanks in the air. Sherman, you gotta protect it. Schenck's brigade's morale went up a little bit. But if we end up fighting enemy troops in trenches all day, that's not a good result. Our own troops are in trenches now, though. At least it says Schenck's brigade is. Fire at this South Carolina militia, Sherman. Hopefully Schenck doesn't take too much flank fire from them. When's the sun gonna go down, damn it? I don't even have an option to use long range. I guess they only have mixed weapons. Move this artillery here. Maybe we can fire down the enemy line. Shank's troops are holding. I do think them being in that trench is really helping their morale. Some of our troops are starting to get low on ammo, though. Meanwhile, I completely forgot about this flank where we drove the enemy back. So good job there, boys. 2nd Division, advance. Third Division, advance. Where is McDowell's? Way too far to the rear. Get him closer. Hunter also. Tyler, come up and be by your men. Alright, so we've got our brigades on our right flank, left side of the screen here, are running low on ammo. It is almost 9 o'clock. We pushed back Gratiot hasn't even lost any men. They must have their morale low from previous engagement. Looks like we routed Griffith's brigade, though. Almost 1,000 casualties on them. This is going to be a bloody affair. This might be the bloodiest battle we've seen so far, at least for our troops. Alright, so we're going to have our cavalry engage these enemy troops here. Buckner's boys has got about 3,000 men, so our cavalry's outnumbered, but I'm going to move the 3rd Brigade under Dixon Miles into support. They have muskets, though, not rifles. Not great. Meanwhile, my troops in the south appear to outrange Grattan's brigade. At least one of my brigades does, the Burnside's brigade. End of the day. Darkness is falling. During the night, your army was resupplied. Alright. Alright, everybody. That's going to do it for this episode of Grand Tactician, the Civil War, the upcoming strategy and war game, which comes out on September 24th. It's currently in early access, but it releases fully on September 24th. It's available on Steam if you're interested in it, and there's a link in the description. This is the first part of the Battle of Richmond with Irvin McDowell in command. I think I made a mistake not bringing Patterson's troops, even if some of them were battered. And our supply situation's not great. We fought several hours at long range, so we burned through a lot of ammunition. And it doesn't look like our resupply in the middle of the night is going to give us a full complement of ammunition. So we'll have to see how to win in the following day. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your own thoughts. I'm curious to see how the AI will redeploy after tonight. I'm not sure whether they'll stay in their same positions or whether they'll pick new ones. We have the option of picking new positions, but we'll address all of that in our next video. Until our next video, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts below, and until next time, I'm out.